I squat my thumb this week. I don't really know what I did exactly. I was at work and I was reaching for some garbage and I just looked down and my hand was bleeding a lot. Emergency first aided. And that was really a lot of excitement. That's not what I'm here to talk to you about today though. My book list. This is like my book of all the things I've been thinking, doing, and working on over the last probably 6 months. I have a list in here about books. It's a big list. Currently, I am reading or listening to the audiobook of Rich Dad Poor Dad. I have to tell you, Rich Dad Poor Dad is an excellent book. It's a financial literacy kind of book, but it talks way more about it talks about more than just financial principles, but also talks about taxes, why they were created. And I'm only about halfway through, but each lesson, each chapter, I'm like, this is the greatest. Why didn't I read this before? It's for some reason they're just clicking really well, and it's got me super inspired. And I'd highly, oh my goodness, I'd highly recommend it. I just ate a lot of barbecue, so I'm really burpy, but it was some good barbecue. Oh my goodness. I also read another financial one lately, The Richest Man in Babylon. It's an audiobook as well, story kind of style, just good, simpler principles. It's for younger people, I think, but I quite enjoyed. I read last summer Brideshead Revisited, which was really cool. I got a bunch of books that were in the classic section that were 3 for $10 from Chapters. So Brideshead Revisited is kind of I think it was written in the 30s. It was written right after the First World War, or during the First World War. It's an LGBTQ kind of novel, but you don't really know that explicitly in the way that they talk about things. And the way that they it's really interesting to me to read something on a taboo subject written during a time that it was illegal, highly punishable. I quite enjoyed that one, besides the fact that it had really great characters, excellent writing, and a good storyline. I read 1984 last year, and that was actually a sweet and heartbreaking love story as well. So if you've ever thought about reading it but you're I don't want, it also has that if you enjoy romance. That was fun. For some reason, I was going to the library for a month, and every week I was picking up a retelling of Jane Austen's books by accident. Oops. They were awesome though. Hope Nation. Oh yeah, and then I was reading a lot of books in sociology section and religious section. So Hope Nation was one I found in the sociology, full theology. And that one was about just good, hopeful stories from people. And they were some were true, some were fiction. It was a good book to read. It was a lot of short stories. I liked that one. And then I read Enough About Me, which is a book from a news media journalist about power of selflessness. People want other people to be taken care of. Nobody wants to kick their neighbor in the face, be selfish, not in their hearts really, I don't think. And this book kind of spoke a little bit about that. Mending Matters, I love that. It was a book about how to mend your own clothes. It was sweet. Joy of Missing Out was a book about finding joy in a digital age. It was given to me as a Christmas present because I like my flip phone thing, and I really liked it. It was really good. Sketches from the Civil War was written by Louisa May Alcott. It was one of those ones I got as a classic novel thing. 4 short stories from her or sketches that she wrote for the newspaper about the Civil War, being a nurse. Because she was a nurse for a month during the Civil War in the States, which I didn't know. She had to be pulled out by her dad because she had pneumonia. Really good. Then into Defining Decade. I should have thought about this before. And then I read The Permanent Record. And now I'm reading How to Be a Boss by Lily Singh, or as we know her, I Superwoman, I. I do like the messages a lot. And again, it has me hecking inspired. Some of the books I do want to read soon. Maybe I should make that another video.